We finally have evidence to show why so many players are shooting bad on 2K25 that didn't have that issue on 24. And from what I've seen, a lot of people that commented on it are upset. So let's get right into it, man. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're trying to hit 1 million. I'm not here to waste y'all's time, and let's get it. So 2K Labs just posted a huge video. I mean, this is going to give us all the information we needed, okay? Right here. Shot number 1 and shot number 2. You see that on the left. On the bottom is the time, the milliseconds. The green window is 560 to 600 on shot number 1. Shot number 2 is 570 to 610. Now we went a little slow on that, even though there was only 2 jump shots, so you guys can see what is going on. There's not much variability in that, but there is, okay? Into 3 and 4 though, you see 3 goes back to 560 to 600. 4 goes from 570 to 610. So it's switching over and over. Now, that's not really that much of a problem, right? A 10 millisecond green window slide until you bring in shot number 5 and 6, where number 2 and 4, if you greened it at the edge of the window, you might green with shot number 5, but shot number 6 is not greenable. Even if you greened number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you're not making number 6 due to the variability. Now, that's also not in a row. It doesn't mean, oh, on shot number 6 in a row, it's going to have a less chance. That's just random shots. You're going to, every single jump shot you take has a different green window, different variability, all of that. Now, they also showed us shot number 7 and 8. You see 7 actually stayed over there next to 5 and 6, and then 8 went backwards. 8 is red, by the way, because they had takeover, so the window is a bit bigger. Now, a lot of people, where this tweet was going crazy on Twitter, it had like 4,000 likes when I was going to make this video. I honestly wasn't going to make a news video today until this came out because it was this big, so here we are. Anyway, this is what Dignify had to say, a 2K YouTuber, but I was called a madman because Timmy72748 told me I need to figure out my jump shot timing and use rhythm shooting. So he is very upset with that, right? Stacks went to Twitter and he said, so we cool with this? Like the game blatantly gaslit good shooters into thinking they can't shoot, ... So a lot of people are upset, but Dimework said, I love it. He's a 2K YouTuber and he says that he loves it. Now he doubled down by saying this is also why rhythm shooting might be the better method, because it forces you to focus on the actual information. It all adds up. Sorry, animation, okay? So it all adds up. Now, the problem with rhythm shooting at the moment, I don't know if 2K is going to fix this or if they're able to fix it this year. In my opinion, it's probably something 2K would fix next year, knowing them, but you guys will see right here from 2K Labs video, they say to use square or X if you're like a spot up shooter or something like that, if it's a close call, because rhythm shooting has a delay in it. Now, that's not for every rhythm shot. It's random. Sometimes you get one, sometimes you don't. Now, in my video, how to shoot on 2K25, you guys can go check it out if you want. If you're having trouble shooting on the game, I explain rhythm shooting a little bit. You will see in there, I show you to get a little bit less of a delay. You wait until you catch the ball to pull down on your right stick. But still, even with that, it is not comparable in terms of being able to shoot right away every single time consistently, like using square or X, depending on whatever system you're on. Now, this was also a very big piece of information from their video, right? Here, they said, we can't prove it. You see the subtitles down there, we can't prove it. Now, what they were talking about is 2K Labs with their homemade Zen device and 2K Toots with his homemade Zen to do these tests for us. By the way, shout out to 2K Labs, man. They give us all the best jump shots. Link is in the description because you can actually see green windows on their jump shots. Code BadgePlug to get a discount. You can see the green windows, which 2K does not show you like you've seen in those charts. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, I just think it's crazy that 2K Toots and 2K Labs, two completely different accounts that focus solely on deep analytical evidence for so many things across 2K25 and 2K, you know, 2Ks in the past, are unable to find a pure green window. Now, shout out to 2K Toots. You see right here a shot profile test of 500 shots each, high risk, normal risk, and low risk. It says these values may vary. The focus of this test is the gaps on each profile. So 568 milliseconds to 557 on this jump shot test. If you're timing your shot right, you want to be in high risk, but you're still only going to hit 56.4. If you're hitting 80.5, it means you're perfectly timing it every single time and you're still only hitting 80. I know I'm saying only, but that's, it's very perspective wise because you're not going to hit that every time. So you're not going to really be shooting very good on 2K25, and I feel like that is on purpose. So I still don't think that the game needs a buff in shooting. It just needs to get rid of RNG where it's making you miss shots. We need some sort of pure green window where if you have the skill to time it, especially depending on your rating, you should be able to green it. In past 2Ks, previous 2Ks, let's say, for example, here 2K19, it varied depending on your jump shot and your 3-point rating. Now, 2K Labs gave us these tests so we could know back in that day, back in that time. So let's say you had an 87 3-point rating. With the Kobe jump shot, you might, right at 87, have a pure green window. With, let's say, Steph Curry base, you might not. Steph Curry might have been 89. 2K Labs gave us that evidence to show us, hey, if you have this 3-point and this jump shot, you will make every shot that you time correctly. Now, keep in mind, that's also talking about wide open shots. When you take open versus wide open or lightly contested, your green window is going to go down. So we're only talking about wide open shots here. So that's why I think that there should be a pure green window, because let's talk about the NBA. In the NBA, yeah, Steph Curry is the best shooter in the world and he shoots just a little bit over 40%. But we have seen time and time again, especially there is a clip online of him hitting like 97 out of 100 threes where he made an insane amount of wide open shots in a row. My 99 3-point build is unable to do that, even if every single shot was off Legend Dimer, in a lethal spot, jump shot boost, wide open, and perfectly timed, at least from what I'm seeing, okay? I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like, and it can't even get close to that. You see what I'm saying? So the skill gap, the reason why players don't shoot good in the NBA, like 40% is very, very good, is because normally they're very contested. You know what I'm saying? They're contested jump shots, they're hard shots, but if Steph Curry was wide open every time, he'd be shooting a much higher percentage. So if we are playing out that simulation in a park game, and I'm able to get wide open many, many times in my jump shots, I don't think 40% is anything, it shouldn't be like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. But I also still don't think that shooting needs to get buffed on 2K25. So I'm not saying buff it. If you have to lower the green windows, I'm actually okay with that, as long as when I time the shot correctly, I'm not penalized by it. You see what I'm saying? So make it worse, but make it better. So make it harder, but make it easier at the same time, so that it is even and that it is a fair jump shot. It's a fair system. So Joey 2K went to Twitter, and this is what he had to say. Man, if low risk shooting can make whites, high risk shooting should have a pure green window. I don't know why 2K brought back whites. I honestly have no idea. Besides, of course, the fact that they want the game to be easy for people so that they can get their hand held. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of okay with that, kind of not. I do understand that 2K is making the game for people mostly that don't have a lot of time to play the game, because I understand people have lives and families and jobs and whatever it is, right? So that's why we have Proving Grounds and Pro-Am and things like that, where there's higher sliders. I believe the lowest sliders in online park play is the rec. I could be wrong, but that's how it has mostly been for the past few years. So if you're in the rec and you're shooting good, it's kind of hard to give a opinion on that versus other places like Proving Grounds or Park or anything like that. Now, Proving Grounds is meant to be hard on purpose. I'm just saying, okay? You can't really give your perspective. Just like I told you guys, if you're not a guard on 2K25, it's also not a full perspective of how shooting is, because standing still, bro, spot up shooting, I shoot like 70% spot up shooting, 60, 70, maybe even 80. I don't even know. I'd have to actually check after like 10, 20 games and write them down. It's not very hard to spot up shoot in the game. But when you're a guard and you got to dribble, get open. Now this year, because there's no precise stops, which they said in the 2K trailer, quick stop, then green your shot, which is also a different timing. And by the way, so is the quick stop. From what I've seen, the quick stop animations are also RNG. You don't get the same quick stop animation every time. You don't even get it close to every time. So you got to do all that and then time a shot correctly. And usually it's still not wide open because there's not much movement in this game. Okay, I don't think it's bad that there's no cheesy dribble moves or whatever. I'm just saying most of the shots in this game, due to how it's created, because I believe it's close to a 50-50 offense and defense, it's kind of fair this year, I would say, is going to be at least open, not wide open. If you're catching wide open shots in the rec and shooting, and you're shooting off dimer and you're in your lethal, it's kind of hard to give a perspective on how a guard is, you know, in the park or pro-am or something like that, when you have to do so many different variables besides just catching and shooting the ball. Okay, see what I'm saying, guys? So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say with shooting. Okay, I'm not sitting here complaining. I don't have many actual complaints about 2K25's gameplay. There is a few. Okay, there is a few. There's an animation, like I told you guys, about the teleportation where you're driving in and someone can rip you from 5 feet behind as soon as you start to go up. I do believe Zach Timmerman said that was a bug on the clip we seen in a previous news video. I believe that's the same bug they were talking about, where you just basically speed boost onto a guy and get a steal, just like the speed boosting in the interceptor lanes that they said was a bug. Okay, a bug. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing how steals or anything. The actual developer of the game said that those crazy interceptor steals you get where you like speed boost is a bug. All right, so anyway, Nadex said right over on his tweet here, so the 1.5 times extra level actually works, but you need to have a dynasty shirt with the jersey, and then your level will start counting 1.5 times. Just did it, tried it, and it still works. Now, right now, it is double level in Pro-Am. You guys see this gameplay right here. I went like 57-1 today. I'm hopefully going to get some more games in today, all on my 5'9" build that some people were like, oh, it's 5'9", whatever. But right now, there's really no reason to have that 1.5 times level, but we talked about in the last video where people were grinding to get the GOAT jersey in my career, okay? They were doing that because that was apparently what gave you 1.5 times level after every single game. Not towards your season pass, but towards the legend grind. By the way, that dunk was insane right there. We figured out it's actually not the GOAT jersey. It's not the GOAT head, the GOAT shoes, the GOAT shorts. It is the dynasty shirts you get from playing my career. So you still have to play my career, and you have to win, I think, at least 2 championships in able to get it. So you have to, I'm going to tell you guys the method, by the way. Put it on 5-minute quarters, go into settings, change your commentary to Spanish or Chinese. What that does is you're not going to have to watch the 2K halftime show because they haven't recorded that in a different language, so that's going to save you some time. You play your key games, and then you can simulate all the playoff games. You have to play the last finals game, but you can't simulate all the playoff games normally unless, of course, your team is winning. So you skip to, let's say, where your team has 3 losses, and then you're going to obviously want to start playing those games until you get to the next round. So what I do is you want to get up 25 points at, you can only do this as a starter, by the way. You want to get up 25 points, just put it on rookie. There's no reason to play on any other difficulty in 5-minute quarters. And then at halftime, you can sim to the end with VC. Now, you have to be careful about fouling out of a lot of these games because depending on your simulation, mine was rough. In my first season, I simulated out a lot. I was fouling out of games. And my player, I guess, when we did the simulations, was also doing a lot of fouling and not scoring a lot. So I needed to jump into a lot of the playoff games. You see what I'm saying? So you want to set up your simulation by actually playing them in the beginning and scoring a lot so that your player has high averages and stuff, so that when you simulate the games, that's what your player does, so you don't have to jump in later on in the playoffs. Okay, you guys get what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, drop a like and click this news video right here to see yesterday's. I'm telling you, it's very important news, bro. If you haven't seen it yet, it's going to literally change your mind on 2K25 because there is a lot going on right now and you guys need to be caught up. You're gonna have to catch up anyway by figuring out when you play the game, so you might as well click it, tap it, and I'm out of here.